Back here, first things first, and back to the big AFC North showdown on Sunday. Big Ben and those undefeated Steelers. They're in Baltimore to face Lamar and those 5-1 Ravens. First meeting between the two teams this season. First meeting between the two quarterbacks ever. And the first game is a Raven for Yannick Ngakoue after getting traded to Baltimore. Michael Vick joining us now. Okay, Mike, first time I'm asking this question all morning. Who wins the game on Sunday, Steelers or Ravens?
First off, I'll say, Jenna, it's hard to believe that this is Lamar and Ben's first time going head-to-head after all these years. That's a surprising stat within itself. But, you know, in terms of the matchup, I got to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're flying high right now, 6-0. When you're 6-0, you almost feel like you can't do any wrong. I can't say I've ever been 6-0 in my life, but I've been 4-0, and I know what it feels like, or what it could feel like to be 6-0. So I got to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, one thing we don't say too much about the Baltimore Ravens, I got a chance to watch them up close this past season. You know, their pass defense, sometimes they struggle. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the dynamic group of receivers that they have, I think gives them the slight advantage. And watching them, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs, I've seen them struggle in that area. And, you know, if you look at, you know, the overall big picture, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers are similar to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I've seen the Baltimore Ravens struggle in pass defense. We know what the offense is going to do for the Baltimore Ravens, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are great at stopping the run, and I think that's what they're hanging their hat on. So I think the ultimate edge goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, one, because they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're 6-0 right now, and they have an aerial assault that's just hard to stop.
Mike, I started 2009. We started off 6-0. We beat the Patriots. We beat the Tony Romo-led Cowboys. Bro, we thought we were unstoppable. But then we only won 2 out of the last 10. That was Josh McDaniels' rookie year as head coach. It all went bad. We imploded. The next year I was shipped to Miami. It was all bad.
Why?
But look, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? So many different reasons. That's a whole nother show. We're not going to get into that right now. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers by 6. I'm looking at what they do well. These teams, what do they do well? The Baltimore Ravens, they get it done by running the ball. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who Nick has this front seven as the best in football. Nick absolutely loved this defense. Yep. What they do, they eliminate the run. Look what they did to the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry. For that reason, I truly believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers front seven is better than the Baltimore Ravens run game. They win this game by 6. It's going to be a great game. Old NFC East showdown. Did I say NFC? AFC. Excuse me.
AFC North.
So this is going to be AFC North. Excuse me. This is the old school. This is what we were watching 20, 25 years ago. So enjoy it. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a showdown.
All right. So I could not be more excited for the game, and I love when the biggest game of the weekend is 1 p.m. A 1 p.m. kickoff on Sunday. You don't have to wait till the big 4:30 game on Fox or Sunday Night Football. Let's get it started immediately. 6 other games on, but we're focused on this one. Luckily for me, my Chiefs have a bye week called the Jets, so I don't even have to watch them at all. Focus on this game. I think on a neutral field, in neutral circumstances, the Steelers might be better. These teams are very similar. They both have, by DVOA, top 5 defense, top 3 special teams, and slightly above average offenses. They both have, in my opinion, 2 of the 5 best coaches in football. They are very similar. But I believe Baltimore is going to win. And I believe Baltimore is going to win for factors that are somewhat out of both teams' control. Baltimore is coming off a bye. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, not only played last week, Pittsburgh played a brutal game against Tennessee where they held on for dear life against a physical offense and football team as a whole. And while they held Derrick Henry in check, that hurts to do. 20 carries of Derrick Henry, even though they held him to only 75 yards, that Steelers defense is, I imagine, feeling that throughout the week. Additionally, While the Ravens just added Yannick Ngakoue, the Steelers are still figuring out how to deal with the loss of Devin Bush. So maybe the next meeting between the two teams goes differently, but this weekend, Wilds, because one team is rested, one team is fresher, one team is healthier, and one team in Baltimore, if we're being honest, needs it more right now. I like the Ravens to win this football game and tie up the AFC North.
Okay, I like the Steelers. You can't run the ball on the Steelers, and Lamar Jackson's not going to be able to throw the ball on the Steelers. So, seems like it's a done deal. It's pretty simple. But Mike, I have a wild card theory. The Steelers lead the NFL with 26 sacks. Is there a chance that they're too good for their own good? That Lamar is like, all right, I'm 31st in the league in yards per game passing. I'm right there around Sam Darnold territory, and we know we can't run the ball. When they blitz me, I'm gone. I'm just going to take off, and that will be the wild card factor that they'll have to, then the whole thing falls apart. Then it's like, well, when we blitz him, he's taken off. Like, have you ever played a game where you knew the blitz was coming and the defense was so good, you're like, you know what, I'm going to win it on my own?
The one thing that a mobile quarterback despises is the blitz. The blitz is something that you're supposed to defeat in the pass game. They bring two from the side, one extra. You should be hitting your hot route or, whatever is designed in the offense, whatever that route is for that quarterback to get the ball out of his hands. I struggle more when I got blitz more, and I think the greater defensive coordinators over time have looked back, at games played versus mobile quarterbacks and saying that the blitz hurt. I talked to Andy Reid, numerous times to figure out how teams are going to try to play me. And the only thing he talked about was they're going to blitz you, they're going to blitz you, they're going to blitz you. So it's opposite of what you're thinking right now. When you get blitzed as a mobile quarterback and you think you run, really you should be thinking pass. So it doesn't work. It stymies the offense. You have to get the ball out, and the run game becomes obsolete.
There you go.
So, Mike, what does Lamar do? Because last year he threw 3 picks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know they blitz more than anybody in the NFL, where they're right behind the Baltimore Ravens and right there with the Tampa Bay Bucks. That's what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. They're zone blitzing defense. So what does Lamar Jackson do differently this year?
He got to be patient. He got to stay within the framework of the offense, and he has to be one step ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like you say, the zone blitz in Pittsburgh is not just a typical zone blitz. It's a complicated zone blitz. So he has to really pay attention to detail, take it one play at a time, and understand what he's doing within the bases of the offense to get the ball out and make sure the offense is moving down the field successfully.
Lamar's got his work cut out for him on Sunday. All right, time now for Drawing a Blank. Julio Jones' big game last night helped the Falcons get that big divisional win in Carolina. 7 catches, 137 yards, and this quote from Julio. Take a listen.
Do you think you're still the best wide receiver in the National Football League?
Absolutely, I think I'm the best. I mean, no doubt about it. Just the way I go out, and handle my business, and, week in and week out. I was injured early on in the season, but, I mean, you'll see, just keep watching.
All right, Michael Vick, let me ask you, throwing to Julio Jones would have been blank.
Epic. I'm talking about epic. And if I have a guy like Julio Jones, and I still have needed Roddy White, it's a Super Bowl ring for myself and my teammates. Man, this guy's one of the best in the game, man, and he knows it. He knows he's one of the best. He knows when he's healthy. He knows when he's not. He knows when he's feeling well, and when he can go out and give you top performances like last night.
They put a graphic up, shout out to Fox Graphics Department last night, that shocked me. Julio's only like 500 yards behind Jerry Rice for most yards ever in his first 10 years of his career, which means if he's healthy throughout the end of the season, he will break that record. That is, it seems like all NFL receiver records, Brandon, are Jerry Rice category and then everyone else fighting for second place.
Correct.
It's amazing. He might take that from Jerry. It is remarkable, Wilds.
Yeah, you're right. Because when you look at playoff yardage totals, it's Jerry Rice and then Hall of Famer Julian Edelman. So that's a great point, Nick.
I knew it. You set him up wide, Nick. Why?
You teed him up, Nick. That's on you.
I didn't know he put his hand up. I thought he was going to say something good.
Cam Newton was asked how important Sunday's game is against Buffalo, right? How much the Patriots need to win. Well, wait till you hear how he answered the question. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Coming back after this.
Good teamwork, Nick.